I'm with Popcorn Talk Network.
What's up, Popcorn?
Oh my gosh, a shout out. I was lucky enough to watch the show way ahead of time before everybody else got a chance to see it. And so for people that, and nobody out there has seen it yet, what can you tell us about the show? And let's start there. What can you tell us about the show?
Well, Southside is a show that is based on the South Side of Chicago, where I grew up. It's about working class folk who live there. They all have blue collar jobs. And, what we really wanted to show people is just how funny Chicago and the South Side could be. We think that what you see of our city in the news is a very small piece of a very large pie. We think our city is joyous, it's loving, it's happy, and the people really look out for each other. Everybody's always kind of going for something on our show. Everybody's trying to improve themselves. We call ourselves an aspirational comedy because everybody's got a couple side hustles, always trying to get things going. So we're really excited for people to see another side of Chicago and to really get a sense of just how fun we can be on the South Side.
Well, I can attest, it was so fun, so funny, start to finish. I was like, oh wow, you packs the punches right in.
Yeah.
Now you're one of the writers and creators. Talk to us about, obviously Chicago is one of your influences. Where do you find some of these very particular, there's some gang stuff happening in there. Where do you find the resources for this?
We got really lucky in that most of our writers are actually from Chicago, many from the South Side. So we tried to put Chicago both in front of and behind the camera. And what that allowed us to do is really open up, our show to getting all these great different Chicago voices to help make the show great. And so we had a great casting agency, and we said, look, we really want some real Chicago people. Some of the people who appear on our air aren't even actors. They're just funny-ass people we know.
They are funny-ass people.
So funny. And it's we don't necessarily, we were like, let's find the funny first.
Yeah.
Let's go get the funniest people. We're writers. We'll obviously give them some more tools to play with in their sort of comedy toolbox, but naturally funny people, naturally Southside Chicago folks are the people we really relied on, and we got really lucky because we ended up with some really funny stuff.
Yeah, well, so speaking of funny, Chicago, as I know it, is a huge home of comedy improv, so
Second City, the whole nine, yeah.
So who are some of your comedic icons, legends? Who do you try to model?
Wow, Robin Harris, original Chicago guy, Bernie Mac, original Chicago guy, and of course my man Bill Murray. You can't go wrong with Bill. Just a real legend, a rogue. A lot of the original Chicago comedy people, a lot of the comedy you would see in Blues Brothers, for example, a movie like that, those are some of the people we really looked up to and inspired us, and we tried to pattern a lot of our work off some of the great work they did and really showing a really fun, down and dirty. Chicago is a real edgy town, so we don't mess around. You know what I'm saying? We make jokes about anything, and if you can't take a joke, don't come. Because somebody's going to make jokes about you the minute you get off the plane.
That's what I like about Chicago. I feel like it is a fun town. There is a lot of jokes happening.
Yeah, everybody's got jokes. So, hope you got thick skin. And but I think what we want to show people is why we love calling it home.
Yeah.
It's like no other place on the planet. Yeah. And so we're really going to show people this is something that you haven't seen from Chicago, but you're going to love it.
Well, I love Chicago. I can't wait for people to see it. My final question for you is, you straddle the line in the same way that you put Chicago both behind the camera and in front of the camera. You put yourself behind the camera and in front of the camera. What's that like?
I don't sleep a lot of hours. I wake up most days and have to ask somebody what day is it. I think today is Thursday, if I'm not correct.
Thursday, you are correct. It's Thursday.
But I've been really blessed, man. I've been blessed in that, a lot of my education was in producing, but I also did a lot of theater training. I did a lot of Shakespeare, a lot of, and so I was doing film and commercials and a lot of television. And so when it came time to create something of our own, I was really fortunate. I had this incredible toolbox that had all these fun things to play with. And I was like, all right, we can do this in front of the camera, kind of show them those chops, and then get behind the camera and help push the funny. My background is writing for Late Night with Jimmy Fallon. And so we are on set constantly thinking to ourselves, how do we make this funnier? How do we push this? And we're very communicative with our actors, and we're also very open. If the actor has something they want to try, we say go for it. So whatever it takes for us to get to that funny place, we're going to do it.
Well, I love it. I can't wait for the world to see it. Tell us when and where we can see it.
You can see it on Comedy Central, July 24th, 10:30.
Thank you so much.